That was the sound of a Mazda 787B driven by Johnny Herbert to celebrate the 20th anniversary of Mazda's win at Le Mans with a rotary engine car. We said as the mission statement for Gareth Jones on Speed that we would lose ourselves in the sounds of cars. So Zog and I have hoofed it out of our tent at the Porsche curbs, and we're hiking it up to the hill as quick as we can to see if we can hear this out here in the wind and see if I can capture that sound for you guys. Hey Zog, how's Le Mans going for you so far then?
Pretty well so far.
And we haven't even got to the race yet.
No, still 3 hours to go, but I think we're in good shape.
You've got to move decisively, I think, to choose what you want to happen at the start of Le Mans. And what's your preference for the start of the race?
Well, I'm a little bit torn between the start-finish straight, which is always good, but can be quite busy and a little bit hard to find a good spot on. But
yeah, it's a battle in there.
It's a fantastic atmosphere, and, you know, where better to be at the start of the race than the start-finish line.
The other option?
Or maybe Porsche curves, actually.
Yeah, that would be exciting to see them come through here all in the same space.
Yeah, end of the first lap.
Watch out for the truck.
And I'm also thinking about the practicalities, you know, which you have to do at Le Mans. And, you know, I'm thinking that those are basically our easiest watching options. Porsche curves right around the corner from the tent.
That's where we're camping. As you know, we're literally at the Porsche curves. But to get access to the circuit, you have to come out of the campsite and walk this distance that you've just walked with us. That's the time it's taken us to get from our tent to this little ramp, which will get us up. Yeah, we're going to listen now. Listen, you'll probably hear the French PA. We're looking for the sound of a unique, very high-pitched whine, let's hope. Do you know what? This is a bit like being a bird spotter, isn't it? You know, you can hear these...
Twitcher.
Yeah, a twitcher. The way I responded to the Aston Martin, I went very quiet. You know, boy, we're very lucky to see this, you know. I'm so excited. I'm talking very quiet. So,
you're not really going to frighten off the Aston Martin, are you?
It's a delicate bird, the Martin.
That's been nervous Mazda over there.
Right, now then.
I see people walking away, man. I'm just wondering if
we've made it to the top of the hill. The sound of Danish coughing, and we wait. I can hear something in the distance. I'll be quiet. Listen. Here he comes. That's what the sound of a rotary engine at probably 8/10, 7/10 sounds like going through the Porsche curves at, what time is it now? 10 to 1 Sunday afternoon. The great race starts in 2 hours. When we've sorted a spot, we'll be there and you'll be there with us. You're listening to the sound of the cars going through the Porsche curves as they line up for the grid for the start of the race. Here we go. 2 Peugeot, a Rebellion Toyota, and the first of the LMP2 cars. Because another LMP2 car. Number 15. The second of the 2 Rebellions. And the number 8 Peugeot. First of those 3 was Vanina's car. A row of 4 or 5 LMP2 cars. Here come the GTEs, I guess now. I know, another LMP2. That's a Judd BMW engine. First of those 2 was the Aston, the straight 6, 009. Another LMP2. the second one was, what was that? BMW. That was Fizzy's Ferrari, popping and crackling, fizzing away. Second of the BMW V8s. Another LMP2. In the Gulf colours. There seem to be loads of cars in the orange and blue this year. Waiting for the Porsche 911s. Can you identify them, Zog?
Some of them, maybe. I'm looking out for the Flying Lizard.
Here comes a Corvette. Apart from the Ford GT, isn't that the entire field?
I think so, yeah. That looked like the last of the cars.
That was the Felbermeyer Porsche, was it? I'm not sure of the GTM guys. Oh, here we go. There's another car approaching.
Oh, ja, mag denk veel lezen.
It's a Ferrari and a Corvette. That was the chrome car, the number 50 Corvette. Ferrari, no, that of course, the Lotuses, the two Lotuses. That was the second of the two Lotuses. And there's the rattly old GT.
I was just thinking we hadn't seen the Jet Alliance Lotuses yet.
OK, let's go through the field. We've decided where we're going to watch the race from, and of course we've decided who we're going to follow in the race. So let's just bang through it. We're going to keep talking until 24 minutes before the start of the 24 hours, OK? So that gives us something like 4 minutes to talk about this. Here we go. OK, I'll start. Of the three Audis, I'm going for the Christensen Capello McNish Audi, the number 3. You?
Yeah, me too. Of course. I'd love to see Alan McNish win it again, and I'm a big fan of the Dream Team. Capello, McNish, Tom Christensen.
He's got, what, 8 wins? Let's see if he can do it again.
This will be nice, and they've got as good a chance as anybody.
OK. The next car I've chosen in LMP1 is the number 7 Peugeot. Anthony Davidson, Marc Genet and Alexander Wurz, obviously because we like Anthony Davidson.
Yeah, and again that's my pick of the Peugeots for the same reason. I'm an Anthony Davidson fan, Alex Wurz as well, so I'd love to see them.
I have to say I'm also
well.
watching the number 10 Team Orica Matmut Peugeot, last year's 908 HTI FAP, because this is one of the A1 GP cars in the race, if you like. Nicolas Lapierre, who won it for France in the first year of A1 GP, who I know. Luc Duval, who is the driver for I think the second and third year, the number 2 driver, and someone called Olivier Panis, Olivier Panis,
I think I remember him.
You're up and coming, so I've a soft spot for that car as well. You know, they were the last Peugeot running last year, that car, and I think that was a cruel race last year.
It was. Yeah.
You got another one? I've got another one.
Yeah, well, I'm going for one more. The number 22 Lola Aston Martin, Cronus Racing, Vanina X, Maxime Martin, and Baz Landers.
For obvious reasons.
Yep, and also because it's a low Aston Martin.
There was a wonderful moment just before the start of the race when Vanina, who you know I adore, was interviewed by one of the pit crew on Radio Le Mans, and in the background Le Marseillaise was playing the French national anthem, and you could hear it, and she was interviewed and they asked, how on earth do you fit in the car, the same car as Baz Landers, when you're so small and, you know, he's so tall? And she says, yes, it is a problem whatever car I am in, but I have a big insert.
I'm glad you reminded me. Yes.
That's a powerful image. OK, curious about the...
You've gone for one more, haven't you?
Yeah, I have. I'm curious about the Aston Martins, you see. Simply because Andy Mayrick's in there, and he's the Welsh entry. He's born in Chester, but North Walian, and I've had contact with him recently. So even though I don't think these cars stand a snowball in hell's chance, I wish Andy well, with Harold Premat and Adrian Fernandez, who I used to enjoy in Champ Cars or Kart many years ago. So that's the 009 Aston Martin I'm watching. Anything else on this page? Oh, yes.
In P2, I'm looking at the RML HPD, driven by Mike Newton, Thomas Erdush and Ben Collins.
He's got a very good Erdush number, hasn't he?
And 42, Stracker Racing with Nick Leventis, Danny Watts and Johnny Kane.
And in case it hasn't made your attention yet, that number 36 RML car, which is a very good chassis and a very good engine, is driven by Ben Collins, the previous stick.
Absolutely, yep. And of course, we just point out that Stracker Racing have the best number on the grid, 42.
That's a big Porsche number for you, isn't it? 42? No?
No, it's a big Douglas Adams number.
Oh, I see what you mean. Yeah, of course. Yes, 42. Johnny Kane, who's raced in, and Danny Watts, who've both raced in A1GP as well. Okay, let's dismiss that lot. I'm watching Vanina, of course, the number 22 car.
Okay, in GTE.
We both agree.
Oh, lovely. Yeah, we're both going for 51. Giancarlo Fisichella. Giancarlo Fisichella's AF course Ferrari 458.
Excellent. It's their second year at this, and Tony Villander, Gian Maria Bruni shares that car, who I knew in British Formula 3 back in the early 12th century, so I'm watching Bruni. Andy Prio will be in the fully cloaked BMW, won't he? The one that's completely invisible.
The stealth BMW, indeed.
Okay, my next one is the number 65, the Jet Alliance Lotus Evora. What do they call it? The Lotus Evora GT? They don't, just the Lotus Evora. John Herschel, is it, or Hirsch?
Hershey.
James Rossiter. My God, James Rossiter. My God, Miss Jones, I'm in a Lotus. And my mate Johnny Molam, who's driving that car, so I wish them enormous luck in the race in that. Towing the water. It's a tough old ask, isn't it, to make that Evora go around here?
Yeah, and they haven't made a great slot in qualifying, so...
but they'll learn a lot if they can afford to do it next year. Okay, you've picked an Aston Martin in GTE as well.
I'm going for the number 79 Jota Aston Martin, Sam Hancock, Simon Dolan, Chris Buncombe. Not least because I play poker with Sam Hancock's cousin, so he's part of our.
Well, that's as good a reason as any.
Yeah. And it's in Gulf colours. I always like a car in Gulf colours, but there are too many Gulf livery cars in this race to pick favourites just on that basis.
But the Astons sound good. That Aston really does sound good.
They do.
Okay, we've got one more each. Tell me your last one.
In GTM, going for the Flying Lizards car, 81. Seth Neiman, Darren Law, Spencer Pumperly.
Simply because you're a fan of electronic music of that period?
And Flying Lizards, yes.
Yeah. And my last car is driven by David Robertson, Andrea Robertson and David Murray. It's the Robertson Racing, no surprise there, Ford GT, the number 68 car. It doesn't go quick, it doesn't sound great. That's my Minardi of this race series. Because it is an entire series in a day, isn't it?
Yeah, it's a whole F1 season in 24 hours.
And we are, would you believe, 23 minutes away from the start of the 24 hours. A moment ago, the French National Air Display team flew over. They fly Alpha Jets and they trailed a red, white and blue smoke behind them. It was a wonderful moment. There was a genuine rush of excitement through the 3,000 people, perhaps either side of me, sat on fold-out lightweight camping chairs with hats on, bags at the feet with supplies of food and fuel and batteries for the entire race, and some all-weather gear, because this is a long race, and so the chances of there being some moisture in the air while you're out watching the whole thing is pretty high. Now, I heard a moment ago on Radio Le Mans that the cars have left the start-finish straight on the parade lap, so you'll hear them all together at about 50% throttle, I would imagine, maybe a bit less. They'll all come past very close. We'll hear that for the first time in a moment. It's about 4 minutes to the start of the race. Just hearing who the drivers are who are going to start the race. In the number 2 Audi, it's Bernard Trullier driving the fastest car, followed by Timo Bernhard in the number 1 Audi, and then the number 9 Peugeot, which will be driven by Sébastien Bourdais to start the race. A helicopter's taken its position almost directly above us, so there's clearly a camera watching the cars coming down the straight, which will bring them into the Porsche curves. People around me are starting to stand up now and blow their noses. It's a red Audi safety car with blue lights, and here they are. The number 2 Audi. As everybody stands up, they're going quite slowly. The number 1 Audi. The number 9 Peugeot. The number 8. Number 3, 7. .55 of the most heroic race cars you'll ever see, and a couple of safety cars, head round to the Ford curves to take their place on the start-finish straight to start the 79th running of the 24 Hrs du Mans. Next time you hear those cars coming by, they'll be at full chat and a bit. Listening to Radio Le Mans, I hear the very excitable John Hindhaugh reporting that Alan McNish is already gained at least 2 places, and he's treating this like a bit of a sprint race. So the order of the cars as they come by, I'm only going to tell you after they've gone by. We'll listen to the cars. McNish and Montani are battling. Can't hear them in the distance just yet. Is McNish mad, Zog? Racing like a madman in the first
He's just
lap?
very good.
A Danish chap sitting alongside us with a Capello Christensen McNish Audi cap agrees McNish is a bit mad. Good lad. Here they come. Number 2, 1, 8, 3, 9, 7. There they were. That's Vanina's car. The number 22 sings in the V12. That was the new Aston Martin 009. That. There's your pick and mix audio of Ferraris, Porsches, Corvettes, Aston Martins. More Porsches, Corvettes. God. Another Ferrari and the Ford GT and the Lotus Evora. Flames coming out the back of the Evora. Here's the second one, the number 64 car. Lovely. Le Mans well underway. Good, eh, Zog?
Oh yeah.
If you're listening to this in stereo, you'll hear there's a bit of reverb on what you're hearing. Can you hear the PA? And the cars echoing as they go down the start-finish straight at Le Mans, because that's where we are now. We've come to join Richard Porter, who's, as usual, ensconced in the Audi press box right above the pit garages. Nice place this, isn't it? We like it here.
Yeah, as usual. Sometimes I come here when there's not even a race on and just hang out. It's rather lonely, but I like it there.
But you can find solace in these moments in this cathedral of emptiness.
It's a sort of Proustian moment, a remembrance of times past. And we've had some fine times, not just here, but all over this track. And now we're having another one.
Here we go. Right, we are 4 hours and 5 minutes into the race with the...
only 4 hours in?
Yeah, we got another 20 to go. We're just skimming the surface. Here's Zog with the top three.
Number 2 is first, then it's the number 7 Peugeot, the Davidson car. Third is the number 9 Peugeot, then the number 8, and then bring up the rear of that pack, there's the one remaining Audi, number 1.
Dun, dun, dun. It's high drama here. Once again, the bitter race that is Le Mans has taken out Alan McNish in the first, how many laps was it?
Must have been about, 13, 14, something like that. It
wasn't very long into the race, and...
In the Audi hospitality, when that happened, so what was the reaction?
It was a sharp intake of breath, and then everyone was on their feet and in a sort of odd shock, because I guess by the time you hear this you'll have probably seen the accident. As we speak, apparently McNish has been taken to the hospital to be checked out, but he seems, all signs point to him being fine, and we hope so. But it was one hell of a smash, and the car was on its side, and I was saying to Zog before we switched the microphone on that they showed us some footage while the safety car was out. They put a tarpaulin over the wreckage. The wreckage looked about the size of a rucksack because so much had been knocked off the car. It was just this tiny... Basically, it was just the central cell, which clearly did its job, but the fact that it was on its side meant he couldn't get the door open, so they had to push it right way up again and then haul him out, and he managed to basically get out under his own steam. And at that point, people in the Audi hospitality up by the Dunlop Bridge had sat down again. Everyone was on their feet applauding, and it's difficult because there's a lot of people there who seem to know him personally and know his wife and his kids and stuff, so it was doubly gut-wrenching for them. But we haven't had a really massive smash here for a while, so when you see one, it's the speed that car carried across the gravel, I mean the gravel seemed to do nothing because it just skipped like a skimming stone across the top of it.
These are big, heavy cars. They will go a lot further before they come to rest because of the simple laws of physics.
It's worth saying as well, as far as we know, that the only injury to any of the photographers who are behind the barrier is one of them's broken his thumb. I mean, that's a bloody miracle as well, because there were bits flying off that car, a wheel came loose and was bouncing around all over the place. So it's a testament to the safety of the car, but it's also a testament to sheer good luck and to the gods smiling upon Le Mans, because that could have been really horrible. And as it is, we now know that it wasn't. So yeah, high drama.
We're going to stick with it. We're going to hover over the pits and smell the brake pads, because you're that close to it. We're on the second floor, the pits are on the ground floor, so there's a bit of an awning that we look over. And you'll hear it, but first, I think I might have a beer. Do you think that's a good idea?
I think that sounds like a very good plan. Yes, I recommend it to me.
To send us an email, see pictures, get song lyrics, join our Facebook fan site or follow us on Twitter, go to GarethJones.tv. Gareth Jones on Speed is made in London by Whiz Bang.
Gareth Jones on Speed!